Are you looking to set New Year's resolutions, or maybe you're completely opposed to it, but still in the back of your head, there are some things maybe you'd like to do differently next year? Or maybe you're watching this mid-year or right before your birthday or at some other point, or just because in a few days it's Monday and you want to make some changes. I have some thoughts that might help you kind of ease into that and set yourself up for success. They're a little different than what you hear, so stick around and I'll tell you about it. Okay, so this approach has 3 phases to it. The first phase is a trial period or a testing period. The second one is an adjusting period, and then the third is ramp up. And as you can see, that is an acronym TAR. Let me take you through the steps. Okay, so the 3 phases work like this. The first phase is a trial or a testing period. I would say, for example, this may be a 4 or maybe a 6-week period in which you are trying things out. So to give you an example, let's use a workout example. You want to increase the amount of times that you're getting to the gym or out on your bike or whatever it is that is your exercise of choice. And this is your trial period. So this is the period in which you've started, you've said, you've committed to yourself that you're gonna make some changes, but you allow yourself the time to adjust to what is going to be the new routine. So this would be, in the case of a workout routine, you might be going to the gym, you may be trying different workout classes, you may be doing a couple of free trials for local gyms so you can see which one clicks for you. You might be trying out personal trainers, you might be borrowing equipment from a friend or a neighbor to try out a different sport. But this is a period when you're gonna take 4 or 6 weeks or whatever the period is that makes sense for you, and you're just gonna try things out. It could also be a trial period where you are seeing if getting up early is the right thing, and you'll experiment with that. And maybe you're still trying to work out the details of how you're gonna get a workout done and get to work on time or whatever the case is. So rather than saying, I'm going to do this new workout routine come this date, you say, I'm going to be experimenting to figure out what works. That way, if there's a morning that you can't get up, it's not a failure. It's part of your experiment, and you realize that getting up early to work out maybe is a little harder than you think. And then you'll continue to experiment with it. So we'll go through some additional examples in a few minutes, but that's the trial period. So it's very much part of the phase. You're in the I'm changing my life phase, but you're not gonna fail here. You're going to just giving it a try, just trying new things, just experimenting is absolutely success. The next phase is maybe another 4 or 6 weeks, maybe a little longer, but it's the adjustment phase. So to use the workout example, let's say you now have figured out that you really like these 2 or 3 workout classes, or you have found that you're really enjoying getting on a bike and going for a bike ride, whatever it is, but you're working through an adjustment period. It could be that you just need to get used to it. It's gonna take time. You can only do 20 minutes of that workout, and that's fine. You're gonna go twice a week for 20 minutes. You're gonna get on the bike for 30 minutes. You're going to just see if you can get up 1 day a week and get to the gym early in the morning, and that's it. And you're gonna use this as an adjustment period to kind of confirm your suspicions from that trial period and start to develop them as a habit. But your bar is still low. It's once or twice a week in this case, perhaps. Or it's 1 or 2 more additional workouts where maybe you're adding cardio, but you were already weight training, right? So this is an adjustment period where you've already defined during this phase, I'm going to see what I can do about adjusting my life to this new process, and how do I build my life to fit those things, my life and my energy to fit those things. Okay. Lastly is the ramp up phase. This may be another 4 to 6 weeks of then going from, once you establish a baseline that you can do in your adjustment period, now you're gonna start ramping up. Okay, what if I add each week, I'm just gonna add on another 20 minutes of total workout time, or I'm going to add the 1 more day and see how it goes for 2 weeks, and then I can see if I can add another day or whatnot. But you'll define those as you go. This process can be really, really helpful, because now instead of, let's say in the case of a resolution, you get to January 3rd and you've already not fulfilled a commitment you've made to yourself, or I think it's somewhere in mid-January they call quitting day, right? you can't fail. You haven't quit it because you're still experimenting with how to make it fit in your life. But the important thing is to do it diligently and with purpose. So we're getting yourself well past that quitting period because you're experimenting to figure out what will work for you. Okay, let me take you through a couple more examples. I will put the time here. If you get it and you want to move past the examples, you want to fast forward to this time. Okay. So let's talk about a few more examples. Let's say you have a financial goal, and that goal, maybe it's I want to buy my first house, or I want to buy a new car, or I just want to meet my budget because I've been overspending, whatever that goal is. Then, for example, perhaps, let's say in the case of a New Year's resolution, just to use that as an example, let's say in January, you're gonna just experiment with how do I track my budget? Maybe you just don't have any idea where your money is going. You haven't used an app before, or you haven't, you don't have the habit established to writing down what you've spent the money on and looking at it. Maybe you and your partner just haven't taken the time to have a weekly meeting about where you are with your spending, and that is the habit that you want to start experimenting with. Does that make a difference? Maybe you need to move to all cash, and you're just going to pull out a certain amount of cash each week, and that's what you can spend on your groceries and your general spending, and you're experimenting with it to see, is that the right number? Is it too low? Did I run out of cash too fast and I need to think about my spending or change that? So this is where you'll take those 4 to 6 weeks and you will experiment with what the process is that will be sustainable for you so that you can track the things that you need to track in order to meet that budget. Okay. And then as you go into the adjustment period, you will make a decision as to which of those 1 or 2 or 3, whatever the right number is, things that you decided seemed to be workable for you. Now you're developing the habit. You might not be hitting the budget yet, but you're developing the habit and adjusting the habit to where you are tracking to it, right? And you will probably see incremental improvements just by tracking it, but the point is to adjust the process, adjust what you're doing now that will make you successful. Okay, and then of course you'll move into your ramp up period where then you start to use those tools and those habits that you've developed to then begin to meet those financial goals that you have. Okay, my last example is, let's say that you would like to either do some decluttering around your house, or you want to get better at the housekeeping element, or just in general have a tidier, more lovely home or garden, let's say. During the trial period, then this may be where, if it's for something about developing a habit, then maybe this is where you experiment with an app or a board that you hang up on your fridge with check boxes for developing the habits for either spending time decluttering or just spending time that you need to spend at each week to maintain your home or your garden or whatnot. And you'll be experimenting in the trial period with what is workable. Is it Tuesday and Thursday afternoons make most sense for me to just set aside 30 minutes on each of those days and go do XYZ, or spend time decluttering, or get my laundry done, or I wish laundry only took 30 minutes twice a week, but you get the idea, so that you are starting to experiment. Well, what if when I get up Sunday morning, I do 2 hours and hit it really hard, and then I can have the whole rest of the day off. Does that work for me? And you try that 1 or 2 weeks and see. And so this is all in the experimenting period or trial period. And then you'll move into the adjustment period, and you'll start to put those in place. Okay, I am going to do every Sunday morning for 2 hours because then I can take the rest of the day off. Or I'm gonna try this app and it seems to really work. Or I have engage the participation with my partner as well, and we're going to try this using this app we can use together to keep up with chores and so on. And then of course ramping up to then you're starting to work on really defining those habits and that timeline and the approach that you're going to use. So I do want to also address something that may come up for some of you with taking an approach like this kind of phased approach, the TAR approach. I know from deep personal experience that when we make decisions to make a change in our life, we want that change now. I get it. I promise I get it, because I've done it many, many times, and very rarely was I successful in a sweeping change. So consider that taking this more measured approach doesn't take away from you making a sweeping change, and it doesn't take away from you having it now. But if you set your goal now with this, let's say 3 to 4 month ramp up period, let's say for the whole TAR process, then you can still do more. You're not limited to just doing these things. If you are experimenting with getting up at 6 a.m. and you're like, I'm just gonna get to the gym and do 20 minutes, and then you're there and you're like, I got 15 more minutes in me, do it. Go for it. It's not to say that you can't exceed your own expectations. It's just about setting a baseline to prevent you from feeling like you have slipped to a point where you are going to give up. So I would encourage you just to consider this. Just consider it as your baseline. You've heard many times in business, is under promise and over deliver, right? Under promise, over deliver. You can do that for yourself. You can under promise by creating this baseline of expectation for yourself to follow this TAR process, the testing, adjusting, and then ramping up. You can set that as your baseline, and that is your under promise. And then you can do more. Let's say something just clicks for you and you can do more, then do it. And if that slips a little, you're still in this process. You have not in any way failed. You're still in this process. Even when you slip, this is about growth, right? So those would be my thoughts on not overcommitting yourself, but you still have the opportunity to over deliver for yourself. All right, so I think we're gonna end it there. I hope this was valuable for you. If it was, would you please give me a like? I'd love to see your comments as well, if you have maybe other ideas or ways that you're gonna implement this. I also would really appreciate a subscribe if you are so inclined, as I'm trying to grow the channel and get YouTube to show me to some more people, and that's how you can help with that. But anyway, regardless, more than anything, I hope that you found value in this, and I hope that it helps you figure out what's next for your life, whether it's a New Year's resolution or what you're gonna do on the next Monday that you decide to make a change and you wanna do some things differently. Thank you so much for joining me. For those that have been following along with my challenge, I will get back to that next week. I wanted to put this one out, so I'll give you an update for 2 weeks next week for the Finish Before You Start challenge. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you again next Tuesday. Bye.